Cowgirls head coach J.C. Hoyt has coaching in her blood. Her mother, Shelly Hoyt, a high school coaching legend in Kansas, and even coached J.C. during her high school days. She told me her mom knows how to push people, how to get the best out of them, and she did that for J.C. every day and continues to do it now, even as a coach. And Scott, I asked her if any of that rubbed off on her, and she says, I am my mother's clone. Both of those players had huge matchups in this game last season. Darian Boyd put up 24 points with 4 rebounds, and Chaz Lanier, well, he calls that game his coming out party. He told me the shots were going in easy and the rim looked huge. But Brent, you have to wonder, maybe he felt a little more at home. That game was played at Lipscomb in Nashville, where Chaz was born, where his family lives, and where his dad played basketball. And he told me with that, there's always a bit more tension in this matchup, but he did assure me, although Dad is a Bison, he's rooting for the Ospreys tonight. Coach, a near half-court buzzer beater shot from Jalen Smith. Do you guys practice that?
All the time, yeah.
And I've heard the word pace come from your bench quite a bit. How did you guys use that pace in the first half to your benefit?
Yeah, we're always a little bit better when we can play with pace. You know, obviously, I think any defense, if they have time to get set, they play a little bit better. When you're kind of moving around, you probably get more opportunities.
You're able to limit UNF's 3 in that first half. Describe the defense you saw from the Dolphins.
I think our guys did a great job communicating, have a sense of urgency on closeouts, and so we're trying to stick to the game plan. As you guys know, they're such a dangerous team.
And Nyblack seemed to be the spark offensively early on. What was the mindset behind keeping him on the bench?
You know what? They did a great job getting him in foul trouble, and so we just wanted to save him to the second half, make sure he was fresh. But for the most part, he did a really good job, especially exploiting their zone.
She's still super valuable to this team. She sits right next to the coaches at every game and has truly become an extension of this coaching staff, providing that player perspective. She's even referred to these days as Coach Harmon. And to make it official, she was gifted a coach's notebook to use during these games with that new title on it. Back to you guys. Dorian, playing in front of your city, the fans came looking for a win. What does it mean to be able to give it to them? An 11 for 13 tonight. Describe the way you were feeling and the way you were playing on the court.
He made his season debut on Thursday after 10 months off and an ACL surgery, and he told me it felt fantastic. The plan is to keep him on a 12-minute play restriction for the next week or so as he works back up to full strength. But he says he's not going to put any expectations on himself or his return to the game. He told me he just plans to make the most of those minutes and impact the game in whatever way he can.
Jacksonville starting conference play 0-2 for the first time in over a decade. Meanwhile, UNF still riding the high after taking down FGCU in Fort Myers. And they got that win without point guard Dimitri Moss, who suffered a lower leg injury in the game prior at Stetson. And his teammate Josiah Miles told me that it's been hard losing Dimitri, and they know they're going to have to play a bit harder to see success without him. And instead of playing this season with Dimitri, they're playing this season for Dimitri. The Ospreys will look to freshman Jalen Smith to step into that role. A physical 40 minutes. You got banged up a little. Did you make it out on the other side okay?
I did.
And it didn't stop you from doing a little bit of everything. Why are you able to contribute in so many ways?
I mean, my teammates just have so much confidence in me, and when I go out here and play, I just play my game.
And you have 2 more opportunities to play your game. How do you build on this win moving forward?
You just extended your collegiate career another game. How big was this win for you? And this team is just different when you're on the floor. How do you do it? You'll look to do it again in the semifinals on Tuesday. What is it going to take?
Richard, it's because of those preseason accolades and that huge season she had last year that maybe she set suffocating expectations and hasn't had quite the start of the season that she had hoped for. But Coach Wright told me that she recognizes this, and her and the coaching staff had a real talk with Mahalia coming back from FGCU, where she opened up about those struggles and the pressure she was facing. Coach just reminded her, enjoy the moment and remember how hard you fought to get where you are right now. And like you guys said, as of lately, we've seen a true glimpse of Mahalia White, and that's what we can expect to see tonight. Back to you guys. Coach, you told me your defense would have to adjust a little to play the Ospreys. How do you evaluate their execution thus far? And how do you defend both Chaz Lanier and Nate Litteris at the same time?
Hoping and praying.
To this day, both coaching staffs run similar plays originally drawn up for that Final Four team. Head coach Satia Messer said Texas runs a play called 2 down. She runs a play called 2 down, and Arkansas ran that same play called 2 down, and like she said, it works. What's that saying, Scott? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're down by as much as 13. You cut the lead to 3. What was different about those last 4 minutes? And Terrell Burden averaging 15 points coming into this game. What more do you need from him in the second half?
Well, Terrell's battling.